Well, hi there, everybody. It is, you know what day it is. Everybody knows what today is. It's Tuesday, Star Trek Tuesday, time for the main viewer. It's the day where the British are wringing their fist at the Americans. Boy, why?
3 days after Canada Day.
Right. And I believe it's 3 days after the beginning of Pride Month in Canada. Speaking of Canada and the Canadians. So
10
happy
days
Pride
before
to
Bastille
them.
Day.
Now you're talking my language. Now we're talking. Star Trek and Chill is going to have a Bastille Day special. Actually, it kind of makes me sad right now, but we don't have to get into that. But hello, ZZTH in the live chat. All right. Everybody knows today is Star Trek Tuesday. It's time for the main viewer. We've got so much good stuff to talk about. We've got the con, not really the cons, I guess the Singhs is what we're calling them. The Singh family tree, right? Khan Noonien Singh and La'an. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to unravel that mystery. And by we, I mean probably Muhammad, because I don't understand it.
So I got it. I'm ready.
He's next level he'll handle it. Also Prodigy, more information on them and how great they're doing and how proud we are of them and how much you should go buy those DVDs and Blu-rays and watch them if you have not already. Also, it is kind of a day in America. It's the day where a lot of people like to, again, find an excuse to barbecue. So let's find out what's your favorite thing to barbecue. That should be a fun one. And we'll add a couple vegan options. Melissa Longo's not here, but I know if she were, she'd be like, don't forget the vegan stuff. And I'd be like, you're right.
Impossible burgers.
Toast.
All right. So what's up, John Orchiola back at the head in the live chat. Hello, Chris Gavin, Glenn Iverson, Chris Marshall, Dave Gregory, Linda Anderegg, Chuck A, ZZTH. We see all of you. Volk, Wanda MV, welcome to the show. Fran Iverson, hello to you. Steve Case, what's up? Bob D, we see all of you. Faith Howell, hello. And DBD, what's up, DBD? Wait, DB Lee, D Bidley. Nice shirt, Ryan. D Bidley says, thank you. This is my
how many Megadeth shirts do you have?
Way less than I used to, actually. Somebody took most of them. That's a long story, but if you ever are dating somebody and they like to borrow your shirts, get them back. Anyway, so get them back before you break up and never see those shirts ever again. But anyway, look, yeah, this is my patriotic shirt. And oh, Muhammad's wearing a cool shirt. Dr. Muhammad Noor, who is an occasional science advisor for Star Trek. He also works at Duke University. He's got a really impressive title.
Yeah, hello. It's a pleasure to be on this show.
This show.
Virtual TrekCon's the main viewer. But yeah, I love this. This is a Seventh Rule Associate Producers t-shirt. So you see these Crosby's at the top, and then we have Sirach and Ryan and Aaron, and then we have Melissa. So it's a really nice shirt.
Gorgeous.
Yet another of the many perks of being an associate producer for the Seventh Rule. Highly encourage everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Noor. Everybody in the live chat, if you recognize what that image is an homage to, let us know in the live chat. What is that?
Not Megadeth.
What is D. Bidley might know.
In a recent Seventh Rule review, Arsenal of Freedom, when they went to a jungle.
Wow, that's a stretch, but we'll take it.
And then Denise said that, and then you go, that's a hint for a shirt.
Because she was receiving hers shortly. Look, Dr. Anne Marie Siegel, everybody, is here. Finally, she has returned to the main viewer.
I was here last week.
Yeah, that was a week ago.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Surprise guest.
You guys, look who else has joined us. It is artist extraordinaire Jenny R. Johnson, straight from the live chat, and a little sunburn.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there because it hasn't been sunny here in like a week. Maybe I'm just warm. I don't know what's going on.
Come on, Riza.
Right? This was just a coincidence.
No, that's amazing.
But that's how they get you. Sometimes when it doesn't look terribly sunny, you can get those sunburns because things are like reflecting and
that's true.
Getting
that's
barbecued.
A good point. And I did take a walk at noon today, so there you go.
And Jenny Johnson is wearing a Riza. She just happened to be wearing a Riza and Chill shirt that you can get at the Star Trek and Chill shop online. It's got Picard leaning on a giant Horgon, and he goes, "It doesn't seem that giant to me." And that you can find that in the link below in the description box of the Star Trek and Chill online store. Get yours today. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and the answer to how many Megadeth shirts I have, I think is really only probably like 6 right now.
Oh, that's all.
But I had to replenish it. I used to have like 9. And
That's amazing.
Most of them. Thank you. Or do you mean like that's amazing?
No,
like
actually, that's amazing.
Okay.
No. Like that's actually amazing.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for hopping on with us, Jenny R. Johnson, straight from the live chat. That is really cool.
Are you kidding?
But you promised us a popsicle.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I did put it back in the freezer because as much as I was enjoying my popsicle, I just didn't want to just get on here and just eat a popsicle for you everyone to watch me eat a popsicle.
Oh, and I see the entire TNG crew behind you.
Oh, yes. I moved them.
Cute.
Very cool.
Nice visitors to have there.
So while everybody is back of the head, that is our good buddy John Archiola from ScreenRant.com. Everybody go check out ScreenRant.com's Star Trek section. That's John Archiola is the head of that. Back of the head, he says Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. This guy gets it. That is the shirt homage that Muhammad is wearing. All right. Chuck A says Vorgon conclusion. That's funny. You see, Anne-Marie, Vorgon was an alien in Captain's Holiday.
I know the
And
cupcake alien.
Picard went to Riza in that up. That is
Very good.
yeah. Should have been the title of the episode. All right.
That would have been good. That would have been good. Should we dive into the news?
I'm just so excited because I got my Vegas tickets today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do
yeah,
you
What's
actually-
mean?
going on
No,
in Vegas?
It's happening. Star
there's a
Trek Las
news-
Vegas.
There's a news on that too. That we just got an email like just a half hour ago saying that the sale for Creation Entertainment's Star Trek convention, which is the beginning of August, is extended through the end of this week. So if anybody hasn't yet gotten tickets, you still can get them at the discounted rate right now.
Oh.
I know they did not pay me to say that.
Hopefully they will, though.
Wouldn't say no.
All right. So first things first, as we dive into the news, everybody, we're going to have a knockdown, drag out barbecue tournament in favor of what the Americans call Independence Day. I mean, they call it the 4th of July, but it really is. And I saw some funny memes. Yesterday, it was somebody said, enjoy going to work tomorrow, England, or something. I can't remember exactly.
That was funny.
That's funny. And then, but then, of course, England today, people from England, they're like, somebody said, hey, 13 colonials, you know who you are. Enjoy your, was it Trader Day or something like that? It's like, I love it. All that smoke, boy, oh boy. Anyway, so right before we go into the news, we're going to do our very first poll of things that are your favorite to barbecue. That's like chicken, sausage, hot dog. Well, I put a veggie mix in there because sometimes people just like to mix like onions and peppers and just make them smell really good. Yeah, I've got the veggie skewers. I call them shish kebabs.
Yep.
Or isn't that the same? It's pretty much the same, right?
Yeah.
Kebabs.
Veggie kebab.
This toast. So good.
Mhm. I got pork chops there too. I don't know. Do people?
Oh, that's so great.
I don't want to.
No idea.
The
Pork chops and
problem is,
applesauce?
I'm like super vegetarian and I'm kind of a Frenchie, so I don't want to be like like not include some things and people go like, he doesn't even barbecue. This guy doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He's not cool.
Are you a narc? A barbecue narc?
Anyway, so the first grouping, because we can only do 4 at a time, favorite food to barbecue, it's going to be chicken, veggie mix, hot dog, and sausages.
To be clear, veggie mix does not include
fries.
veggie burgers, right?
Mix, right?
Well, here's what I figured, because us vegetarians, we just copy everything that the omnivores eat, right? So I don't want to have like chicken and also fake chicken, hot dogs. And so if you're vegetarian or vegan like myself or like Melissa Longo, if it says
Or
chicken,
like me.
feel free. Oh, you're vegetarian?
Yes. I know.
See, we're pressuring you guys, Anne-Marie and Mohammed.
Join us.
So if you are vegetarian, just consider the chicken to be vegan chicken or the hot dog to be, smart dogs and things like that.
Nice.
Nathan's the only choice for 4th of July.
It's true. Gross. Those hot dog eating contests are.
They really are.
How dare you? Okay, at this point in my life, I'm going to say veggie mix.
Okay.
It definitely would have been
I like
different when I was a
that.
kid.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it definitely would have been like the hot dog, but now it's
dog
like,
for sure.
Okay. So I believe we should start with Strange New Worlds here. Okay. I thought, Anne-Marie, you were going to say something.
Right?
Oh, just prepping myself.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Here it comes. So this is from our good friends over. Wait, we should have like a thing that goes like, and this is the news. No, that's not. All right. So this is from our friends.
Have a Law and Order sound. No, don't.
Yeah. Or like the hailing frequency, like do Captain, incoming message. One of those kind of things.
I like that.
A P1.
Or Captain's Log. I don't know. Anyway, so this is from our good friends over at trekmovie.com, written by our good pal Anthony Pascal. Let's see. And it's entitled Strange New Worlds Showrunner Explains Show's Correction to Star Trek History.
This
Thank
is very
goodness.
important.
Yeah, it really is, because here's the thing, real quick before we get into it. I don't know if you noticed, but people were talking about it quite a bit. People were, and I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't want, oblivious is a strong word, but Muhammad knows.
Yeah. Oh, and it's tough because the nice thing about this is it shows Star Trek's staying power, right? The Star Trek is around for so long. Things that they had
Past
in
the 90s.
an iteration of Star Trek, are like that was supposed to be distant future at the time. We've passed that time by like a lot now. I mean, I'm wondering what's going to happen after First Contact Day. Like, well, we have to retcon First Contact now.
Or Bell Riot.
We passed that point.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it'll happen at some point. I mean, unless the Vulcans actually do land, maybe.
They're coming.
They're coming. But yeah, it's an important one because people have been complaining about the Eugenics Wars. That if you go back to Space Seed, this is the context. If you go back to Space Seed, the original series episode that first introduced Khan, he was a tyrant in the 1990s, which meant he would have been born in 1960 or something like that, or the 1960s probably.
He was a big Nirvana fan.
So it's like, obviously that didn't happen. So this begs the question of like, are we in the Star Trek universe or are we not in the Star Trek universe? So this needed some sort of correction, and kudos to them for thinking about it and figuring out a way to make it work, but not making Khan just cease to exist. What's that?
Yeah. And is it related to Picard?
Yeah. That's
wow,
that's the setup.
That first poll is pretty crazy. Anyway, everybody make sure to vote in that poll. We're going to close it out quickly. Veggie Mix is winning right now, if you can believe that.
Good
Anyway.
taste.
Yeah, it's not
That's
winning
right,
at all.
Jenny. By the way, everybody, Jenny, what's your website?
My website is jennyrjohnson.com. Thank you for asking, Ryan.
Everybody, do yourself a favor and go there and buy everything.
It'll blow your mind.
She's shockingly good.
Yeah, it'll blow your mind. I show it to people that work all the time. They're like, "Oh my
Right.
God."
Mom, thank you.
It's true.
It's kind of embarrassing to the rest of us that we're not as good at what we do as she is at what she does.
That
except
is so not true.
except for Muhammad and Anne-Marie.
No, I'm not.
There we go. Muhammad, would you care to read this for us?
Sure. It's a long article, so we might want to skip around a little bit, but I can start it off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The latest episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds has fans buzzing over how the time travel adventure addressed some of the established lore of the franchise. Now the co-showrunner is weighing in, explaining how they didn't really change things as much as set them right. Next header, Star Trek history versus real history. This week's episode of Strange New Worlds featured Lieutenant La'an Noonien Singh going back in time, accompanied by an alternate version of Captain James T. Kirk. La'an's past is inextricably associated with her infamous ancestor, Khan Noonien Singh, often considered Star Trek's most iconic villain, right after Kai Wynn, of course.
Ooh.
The 1967 TOS episode Space Seed established that Khan and a number of his fellow genetically augmented followers were exiled into space following the Eugenics Wars, which Spock noted began in 1992. The 1990s might have seemed like the far future back in the 1960s, but to us, they're already real history, with no sign of a group of genetic supermen trying to take over the world.
Care to elaborate, Muhammad?
It's like, ooh, Warren is joining.
Elaborate how? I mean,
I don't know.
It's correct. We did not have a race of Superman take over the world. And you might remember that, just for context, in the episode Space Seed, Khan and his associates, I guess we'd say, these other Supermen, were found frozen in the SS Botany Bay. And they didn't know who they were right at first. When they pulled them out and thawed them, they brought them back to the ship. And when they thawed them, they found out that this was Khan Noonien Singh, who was this infamous leader. And they had these pictures of him with a turban, even though he's obviously like Latino and not Indian, but we'll set that aside. But yeah, they figured out at that point in time that he was this Khan from the 1990s. Obviously, that didn't actually happen in our world. We would have noticed, I think.
Real quick, I just want to make sure we get a little bit more backstory on Khan, because I know I need it. I need a refresher course. 1992, when all of this supposedly happened, can anyone guess what the #1 song was? In the United States. We got to go in the United States because the whole world, who knows? Actually, we should check India too, because that's where he was Indian.
1992.
Right.
There was a great prank that NPR played. I can't remember if it was 1991 or 1992. It's one of those two. But it was at the time George H.W. Bush's approval rating was so high. It was like ridiculously high. This is right after Desert Shield and stuff like that.
Oh God,
So
right.
on the April Fool's prank that they played was they said that the Democrats had their convention earlier than the Republicans, so they were going to run George H.W. Bush for president, and therefore they could win.
Oh my God.
And it's interesting. They actually had George Shultz, who was like former Secretary of State, come and speak on this. Like, yeah, it's a good strategy. It was a great prank.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is it Paula Abdul?
1992.
Paula Abdul was a little before. I think she was more like 88, 89.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. I'll give you the countdown. #4 was Save the Best for Last by Vanessa Williams. I know.
Our Risa girl.
These are all great songs. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
True, good point.
Amazing.
The Rising.
Risa.
#3, Criss Cross Will Make You Jump.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
that's what
gosh.
that's what I meant to guess.
Amazing.
Everybody wear your pants backwards in honor of Criss Cross. #2, Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Oh.
This is great stuff. That was Data's favorite song. And #1, let's see if anybody guessed it in the live chat. It's a pretty popular one. Well, especially back then. It is Boys to Men,
Oh.
End of the Road.
Oh.
Okay, so now we understand what drove
Okay.
Khan mad. I think, but we have to go
They
with
were
his best song.
eugenically engineered for more back.
Yeah.
We got to go with Save the Best for last on that one, though. That was his
Mhm.
favorite song officially.
Okay.
because of
Definitely.
Vanessa. Anyway, all right. Well, let's continue, shall we, Mohammed?
Sure.
Let's get to the quotes. Here we go.
During her villain monologuing, Sarah
Oh,
explained the
okay.
timeline's discrepancies. And this is now the quote. But yeah, so many people have tried to influence these events, to delay them or stop them. I mean, whole temporal wars have been fought over them. And it's almost as if time itself is pushing back and events reinsert themselves. And all this was supposed to happen back in 1992. And I've been trapped here for 30 years trying to get my shot at him. That was a great quote in the episode.
Mhm.
So Sarah was that time traveling Romulan agent that was in the Strange New Worlds episode. So that's a great quote because it's precisely identifying something was supposed to happen in 1992, and it was somehow it didn't happen, but she is trying to make something happen, and time is reinserting itself later. So there you go.
Yeah,
That's
I like
Khan
that.
coming in later.
I thought her name was Sarah.
Is it? No, I wasn't sure.
I don't know.
That's
Well,
Jefferson.
they would know.
That's Jefferson Starship, actually.
Nice.
Sarah.
Okay, so everybody wondering the finals of the poll.
Really wants me to do an
7%.
Axl Rose style.
7% said veggie mix, 22% said hot dogs, 33% said chicken, and sausage wins the first round with 37.
You mean brats?
Yeah, bratwurst is.
Yeah.
Did you ever have that brand? What is it called? I don't remember, but it was beer and bratwurst. Oof, that was pretty good. Anyway, the next grouping is, what's your favorite food to barbecue? Corn. Corn.
Oh, is that what
Burgers.
corn is?
Burgers, peppers. Don't knock peppers.
Mhm.
And I mean like hot peppers.
How is that not veggie mix? Though?
Yeah, because hot peppers, people will just get, or like an Anaheim pepper or Serrano or a jalapeno, just those. And also a veggie patty. And what I mean by veggie patty is not like a fake burger, but just like veggie patty.
Oh,
There's like mixed.
Mhm.
There's like cranberries in there or weird stuff, but it's good.
Where are you getting your veggie patties?
I've
Cranberries.
gotten veggie patties before at like burger joints,
Mhm.
and they say like, we make our own veggie patty, and then you get it and there's like, you see cranberries, there's like orange peels, I think there's hay in there.
It's true.
Weird. Like they just scraped up the floor or something and dropped
I'm
it.
always really happy when you get a like a homemade veggie patty that actually stays together.
They never
They
do.
inevitably they're just like, they're like, here's our black bean burger. Blech.
Yeah. Kudos to
know?
Burger King for using the Impossible Burger.
Agreed.
Really good too.
Mhm.
So does Carl's Jr., I think.
Maybe. We don't
Has
have those
Taco
here.
Hell gotten on that bandwagon yet? Anyway,
Just do bean burritos.
yeah, little known fact, when I was in France, I was informed that all of the American fast food places, they just add shit to the word. So like, instead of calling it Taco Bell, they call it taco sheet or burger sheet, mac sheet. That's what they do.
Nice.
FYI. Mohammed, I'm still really confused about, honestly, I
Yeah, so do you want me to break it down a little more?
let's
Well,
read
why
a
are
little
they
bit
saying
more
this
and then
isn't the
maybe.
case then? They're just saying it didn't happen in this anymore, so now they just wait around for 30 years until it happens.
Well, I think
Like my
because of the
touchdown?
I think
Okay,
it's
go
because
ahead.
of the temporal Cold War, which was, remember, this is something that was brought up in Enterprise earlier, that there's been meddling with stuff. So as people meddle with it, they're saying there's something like what was the movie Final Destination or something like that, where like you save somebody, but then they still
Sliding
die like a little
doors.
bit later? It's kind of that
Oh,
same.
sliding doors. Oh,
Or yeah, Sliding Doors is another good one.
I
for
love
that.
sliding doors.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
But
But
it's assuming that time
yeah,
wants time
Exactly.
wants something to
Okay,
happen.
so
So if
they're
it doesn't happen when
saying-
it's supposed to happen, it just happens a little bit later. So if
So
you
they're saying
prevent
it's
it,
totally different.
what's that?
They're saying it actually is just different now.
Yeah,
My head
exactly.
kind of was like, maybe it's been like Orphan Black and they just do bunches of little cons every like couple years.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what they mean.
Until, and like, sort of like how Corey was, like, they did a bunch of batches of her. And then
yeah.
there was that like file that said con project or something in Corey's lab.
Yeah.
Her dad. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're saying it actually has changed.
Yes, there has been a change because of the temporal Cold War and interference by various people from the future. But then
Mhm.
time is reinserting the events that should happen back somehow. Again, like Final
Okay.
Destination or these other
Yeah.
movies.
So Khan just didn't get born when he was supposed to. He just
But
got
why did they
born
have like
later.
that class picture on his wall? That's why I thought maybe there were just multiple classes of cons.
I mean, it's possible. That might be how.
Oh,
it's
maybe,
reinserted.
yeah.
I mean, maybe that is how. I don't
But I
think
mean,
that's
this is the
necessary,
showrunner, so.
I like that. I like that theory.
but- I mean, that is a
Plus
way
it
that
was
time
like
could be
filmed in
making it happen.
Toronto. The Orphan Black Labs.
Yeah,
Love that show. Black
I
was
know
so
it's so good.
Different classes of con.
Like different like elementary school classes. They had that like little picture of a bunch of little kids who were dressed the same on the wall and his little
Yeah.
Okay.
his little
So like they've just been trying
Bunker.
over and over again to get the
Yeah.
one that goes.
well, especially because
like, the
they
one
did that with Corey. like,
Exactly.
so I just kind of had that.
I mean, that's
vibe.
possible that that's the mechanism by which it's happening. But the overarching thing is that time made it so it didn't happen when it was supposed to happen. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
never said sorry, the interference made it so it didn't happen when it was supposed to happen. But then time reinserted itself. Right? But what you're describing could be the mechanism. I wasn't assuming that, but it could be the mechanism.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Our good buddy back of the head in the live chat says con is
terrible.
Canadian.
Glenn Iverson said, "Were the people who
Nice.
drew the pictures known as con artists?"
That's hilarious.
That's
Wow.
very good. Good job, Glenn.
I was like taking pictures of them on my phone from my computer and like enhancing them, trying to figure out if there were clues. No, they were just like stick drawings.
Mhm.
So the bridge though, was that? I'm assuming that bridge does not exist, correct?
No, although
Okay.
as a bad Canadian, apparently, and it's funny. A friend of mine, we were both like, "There's no, right? No,
Yeah.
no, definitely not. No, it's
Okay.
not real."
Thand you for
No.
confirming. I figured not,
Yes.
but like,
That's really cool. Star Trek's got a long history of doing things like that. Like they've done that with San Francisco a lot, where you get an actual shot of San Francisco
Mhm.
that the locals can completely recognize, and then they add a few things
Yeah.
to it. But this wasn't really.
This wasn't
They
the
didn't
future.
specify. Well, it was a little bit in the future, wasn't it? Didn't they say mid?
think it was,
21st
yeah.
century.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they said? So we're presuming
Hmm.
2030s, 40s, 50s, something around there, maybe. I don't know. They
Not
didn't.
that far.
It didn't seem like that's far.
Like maybe even at like a year or two from now, but remembering that the bridge is there in this time that has
Right.
been messed with. So that kind of makes sense. Like,
Bob D says that bridge does not exist. I lived blocks from there, and I
Yeah.
thought hard about it. LOL.
mhm.
I love Faith Howell saying, "Not real anymore." There's been more interference from those time travelers.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, and also everybody, the results of the second grouping of favorite barbecue was a blowout, by the way.
Hamburgers.
Peppers got 3%, corn got 6%. Keep trying,
corn.
corn.
Poor corn.
Veggie patty got 20%. That's probably Jenny voting 10 times.
It was.
And burger got 69%. Burgers are gonna be tough to beat.
Mhm.
Very, very good. But
Although
veggie
this-
burgers, they're still good.
This next grouping, I think, is going to be a real tough choice for a lot of people. What's your favorite food to barbecue? Shrimp, bacon, even though that's not really a barbecue, but you know, some people, they put it on the flat grill stuff, whatever those things are called. Steak or ribs. It's a toughie.
Shrimp for me. Love shrimp.
Mhm.
Anyway, what do you think, Mohammed? Should we dive in a little bit deeper?
We covered it. I mean, I'm happy to do more, but I feel like we pretty much covered it. What do you think, Emery?
I'm just going to read this one quote here.
Yeah.
As noted by Goldsman, the show had already moved the Eugenics Wars into the 21st century. In the pilot episode written by Goldsman, as Pike showed off footage of Earth's troubled history, he said, "This is Earth in our 21st century, before everything went wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Our conflict also started with a fight for freedoms. We called it the Second Civil War, then the Eugenics Wars, and finally just World War III. This was our last day, the day the Earth we knew ceased to exist."
Important. It's from the
Watch that
pilot of the
episode.
show. It's
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
season 1, episode 1. The
What's
other thing,
interesting about that is also like it kind of like makes it so that past tense part 1 and 2 with the Bell riots, like that makes more sense because it's already like the elephant in the room of that is like you guys had Eugenics Wars and you're already back to
Yeah.
so fast and no one mentions it.
similar to that is Future's End and Voyager. I mean, they were there in the
Yes.
mid-90s.
Yes.
Like that would have
Yes.
been in the thick of it. And
Exactly.
like, it was fine.
Great
So,
point.
the article mentioned that. That's no credit to me. So this needed retconning even with 90s Trek. So to be clear,
Yeah.
this is not a new Trek problem. This is an all Trek problem.
Mhm.
I'm glad they fixed-
So Strange New Worlds is in a new timeline, is what we're saying here.
No. Well,
It's
I
very
guess
wibbly
kind of a
wobbly.
little.
It-
Yeah, I don't know if you call it a new timeline or just the other timeline doesn't exist anymore. It's kind of the same
It's-
thing. Remember how
it's-
La'an said her timeline was gone when that happened? I think it's the same.
It's more like 90s Trek went back to not the timeline. Like
Yeah.
everybody's in the right timeline,
Yeah.
except that was like a weird.
So 90s Trek is the only one that's not in the timeline.
But no, it is because it would have
No,
happened
they-
before 92. So it's still
Yeah.
okay.
I just mean that like when Voyager went back,
Yeah,
they went
it was already
into
fixed.
the corrected.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I just want to spin off of this Romulan lady hanging out on Earth for 30 years. Just like killing time, eating poutine,
Maybe
shopping
she
for
can
leather
meet up.
jackets.
She can meet up with Pelia.
And Guinan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They can have like a date, all three of them together.
Yeah.
amazing.
Eating at the Lakeview,
Yeah,
which is a real place.
making
Okay.
things out of Velcro.
You know, there's a Lakeview. There's a
Good
Lakeview
Star Trek 4 reference.
restaurant in Encino that I've been to. It's a cool place
Nice.
on Ventura Boulevard. Some people know where that is. Probably not the one they meant. Probably the one that they meant was in Toronto.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
In
I
fact,
love the poutine
100%.
references too.
Oh my god, so good.
Okay. I guess we can move off of this. I'm going to pretend like I'm not still confused. I know I'm just bringing up the rear in this conversation. All right. Well, let's move on to the next bunch. Oh, do we have the next? Yeah, we did do the next poll. It's a close one, kind of. Okay. So what's next here? Oh, this is an Anne-Marie special.
Ooh,
Boy, oh boy, is it
gotta
ever.
be good.
Obviously, this is like in rebate.
Yeah.
Rebate.
So this is from TrekCore.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the art one. Yeah,
Oh.
those both are.
Says Star Trek merchandise roundup. New books, Build-A-Bear, releases, pins, keychains, and Klingon bandages.
Okay, the Klingon bandages caught my eye.
Should
And
say
then I did a
Klingon
whole deep
bandages.
dive to make sure they're sterile. And they
Is it
are.
actually like band-aids or bandages?
Yes.
Bandages?
They're band-aids and they're sterile. It says on
They're
the
just not
packaging.
novelty.
Ah,
I wonder if British people with their accent say Klingon bondages. And then that's
Oh
means
no, they
something
call
different.
they call band-aids something else. They call them
Blasters.
plasters. Yeah,
ah.
They call them what?
plasters.
Plasters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would Klingons even use band-aids? I kind of feel like they'd be
That's-
like, that's not tough, you know.
That's true. They barely rub dirt on it. They just
They're
rub.
for
They probably
sure
rub their
Perkins.
enemy's blood on their blood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That would be
Exactly.
accurate.
Okay. Well, let's read this one a little
These are
bit
for sure
here.
for Klinganophile humans.
It says, we've got a couple of new Star Trek merchandise announcements to share with you as we head into the weekend from a long-awaited book to new huggable bears for the young folks in your life. Look at this. A keychain
I've
and
seen Star
pin
Trek merch.
set. You know, that
Someday
reminds
it'll
me.
make things that I actually want to buy. But
I've got,
for now I have to go to Jenny R. Johnson.
I think I have some Star Trek keychains that I got like way back in the day at
Oh, I
Clark's
have
Bar
one. I have
at the
two.
Star Trek Hilton. Muhammad, can you read this while I see if I can pull
I'm just
that
gonna
up?
say I have a Horgon keychain. And I
Oh,
also have one
Nice.
that says to probably go with like the planet and the
Mhm.
and a rainbow.
There we go. I'm trying to find a good
yeah, it's all
chunk
like
to
just like
read.
one little paragraph.
I know.
I'll read slowly. The
Oh yeah, these are the
company-
bandages. So you have to like scroll down or
Sure.
scroll back up a
Well,
little so you can see the picture.
Yeah, so the company is also issuing packets of Klingon-themed bandages, a set of 25 bandages designed with 5 different patterns reminiscent of the warrior race, from the Klingon language to the weapons carried by the members of the Klingon Defense Force. The Klingon bandages are available for $8 per pack, also expected to ship in mid-July.
Found it.
Good job.
We've got a shuttlecraft.
Oh, nice.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
ah,
hardcore.
to the Galileo.
And oh, here's a good one. Tell me if you recognize this little beauty.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yay, Defiant.
Cute. Oh
Pretty
my God,
cool.
you have
Very
a charm
cute.
bracelet.
Mhm.
Thought I had others.
I know, eh?
Did you say charm bracelet?
It does look like it could be one.
This is
Defiant.
Oh
for charm
my
bracelet.
gosh, nice
this is a
pieces of
keychain we got
flair.
for graduating high school. Isn't that weird? Our high school gave out bottle openers.
That is very strange.
That does say something.
Yeah. But it was like, you know, the 2015 time. So
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Okay,
things
click
were
over and
reckless
show
Yeah.
back
these
then.
Klingon bandages because they're cute.
Where are oh wow, you're right.
Aren't these adorable actually? Like it would be nice to continue getting some actually cute
So
merch.
and they're called fandages.
Yeah, those are
freaking
cool.
adorable.
I like
and
those.
they're
Wow,
sterile.
these are badass. Look at these.
Yeah.
That's
So
very
anybody just
cool.
listening in, they're all black and red. And they've got Klingon writing on them. There are a bunch of different styles. Looks like there's 5 different kinds. Some are just Klingon writing. It probably says, you know, good job, warrior, or something like that. Some have skulls
I
and
like the bat left,
batleths
bat
everywhere.
Neck
Mhm.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
cute.
kinds of stuff. Boy, those are, I mean,
Job.
Yeah, that's
you
cool.
might actually buy those, right?
Yeah,
I
right.
know,
Wow.
eh?
Honestly.
Oh my gosh.
That is pretty cool.
Mhm.
I like going on
Com
my wish list.
badges, those are always fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean
I
they're
just
like
got
$8.
I just got a Picard one.
Oh,
Oh.
Mhm. It's beautiful.
Okay, then it says Titan Books has announced Star Trek Lower Decks USS Cerritos
Ooh.
Crew Handbook
oh my
by
goodness.
author Chris Farnell for release this fall. The book is described as, quote, funny and illuminating, a funny and illuminating guide to life on the USS Cerritos through the eyes of the beloved lower deckers themselves, end quote. The official synopsis. Join the crew of the USS Cerritos as they seek out new life and travel where people may or may not have been before. Based on the hit Paramount Plus animated series Star Trek Lower Decks, Mariner, Boimler, and all their friends offer advice and insider knowledge to new crew members. This hilarious and informative handbook will help you come to grips with the ship, your duties, and your fellow lower deckers, especially as they've generously left comments throughout.
Oh,
Nice.
seems like it should be where people have been before once, right? Because they specialize in
Mm.
second contact.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Oh, yes.
That's a lovely face we always remember and
Oh.
know so well. That is Nana Visitor, who played Major Kira, then later Colonel Kira. It says first announced in September 2021, Star Trek Deep Space Nine star Nana Visitor's book, A Woman's Trek, was originally set to be published through Eagle Moss, Hero Collector, before that company collapsed in 2022. That was a sad day.
Yeah.
Now Star Trek Open a Channel, A Woman's Trek has been scheduled for release next spring through publisher Insight Editions. Here's the official synopsis. Nana Visitor, Star Trek's Kira Nerys, explores how the series has portrayed and influenced women. Interviews with the stars, writers, producers, and celebrity fans reveal the struggles and triumphs of women both behind and in front of the camera throughout the 60-year history of Star Trek, and how they have mirrored the experiences of women everywhere. The groundbreaking casting of Nichelle Nichols as Lieutenant Uhura in 1966 took women and people of color into a newly imagined future. But it was the 1960s, and she had to do it in a miniskirt. Pause. First of all, I just love...
Oftentimes requested to be in miniskirts, I will say.
Oh,
Good point. And why did they do that?
Because they're hot. And like a lot of them are dancers and have great legs. So you want to show it off on TV.
Good point. I just want to pause and say that I think that's really cool that one of the first things they mention is in front of and behind the camera. I love Star Trek actors and the people in front of the camera as much as the next guy. But I do think that the people behind the camera, the legions of people behind the camera, also deserve a ton of credit and their stories told, because oftentimes hearing stories from the writers or, directors or PAs or people that worked in the office or VFX people, those can be some of the best and most insightful stories. Because oftentimes, look, the actor, they're coming, they're doing their job, they're reading the script, they're memorizing, but they're not seeing the ins and outs of what's going on behind the scenes, the lore of Trek. The people like Dr. Muhammad Noor, for example.
Yeah, my role is very small. I appreciate doing it. Thank you.
Yeah. Anne-Marie, who are some of your favorite?
What I'm gonna say. Who I'm gonna say? Kim Friedman.
Oh,
I love her.
Good choice.
But I mean, we were just talking about this on the Seventh Rule live chat yesterday when you guys had Deborah Davis on, who had written We'll Always Have Paris. And it was just, and she like wrote it also with Hannah Louise Scherer, and it was so cool hearing like her stories and insight, and it's just fantastic. I love it.
Yep. And also I just had her name and I've just blanked on her name all of a sudden. The lady that wrote with Roddenberry all the time.
DC Fontana.
Thank you. DC Fontana. Exactly. That's a big one. Anyway, so I think that's just really cool that they're going to get a lot of
Jerry Ryan. I mean, Jerry Taylor. I mean, yeah. I always mix those two.
Yeah, Jerry Ryan famously was a production coordinator on the original series before becoming 7 of 9.
Oh.
They were pretty intense.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue on that. I want to finish that quote, if everybody's okay with that. Since then, each Star Trek show has both reflected the values of its time, and imagined a more future, in which all genders were equal. In her first book, Star Trek Deep Space Nine star Nana Visitor sets out to discover both how Star Trek led the way for women and how it was trapped in its own era. Well, that's interesting. For Visitor, this is more than a book about Star Trek. It's about how society and the stories we tell have evolved in the last 60 years and how the role of women has changed in that time. Exclusive interviews. Ooh, good. Features interviews with almost every woman who has starred in Star Trek, including Kate Mulgrew, Terry Farrell, Denise Crosby, Mary Wiseman, and Rebecca Romaine, but not limited to them. Inspiring stories explore how Star Trek has influenced women in the real world, including soldiers, scientists, and even astronauts. In one remarkable episode, author Nana Visitor interviewed astronaut Samantha Samantha Cristoforetti. That's right, I remember her.
Mhm.
While she was in orbit around Earth on the International Space Station.
That's so
So
cool.
cool.
She was on the space
Wow.
station,
Yeah.
and they were being
Wearing a Star
interviewed.
Trek uniform.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Pretty cool.
Mhm.
And then lastly, just to finish that synopsis, that long synopsis. Pioneering series, Star Trek has often taken a leading role in promoting women on both sides of the camera. It had women writers when they were rare, and it introduced female captain Catherine Janeway in Star Trek Voyager in 1995. A Woman's Trek will be released on March 13th, 2024, right before the Bell Riots, and can be pre-ordered today.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
I feel like we just got sponsored, but we didn't. Any
think it
thoughts
was.
on that before we move on?
It'll be
Mm,
awesome.
just
Nana's
awesome,
so
yeah.
thoughtful. Yeah, and I'm sure the
Mhm.
interviews will be fantastic. I mean, we've seen her in various interview settings at conventions or even on Instagram with her Mama Nana series.
Mhm.
And she's always
On
very
Seventh
thoughtful.
Rule.
And on Seventh
Total
Rule, of
Trek
course.
Con.
Yeah,
So
no, it's gonna be
amazing.
great.
I just love like using Star Trek as a lens to look at society in all different ways. And since it's been
Mhm.
around for like 57 years, 58 years now,
Yeah.
think it, and so many people are involved in so many capacities. It's such a, like, it gives such a unique glimpse into it. Love it.
So cool.
Okay, it is very cool. I'm really excited about it.
Mm.
You guys are like, it's not for you, Ryan. Well, whatever. I'm
It's
still
for
excited.
everyone.
You can buy it.
Whenever
Yeah.
whenever people are doing awesome things, it's exciting, especially because Nana is such a wonderful and enlightened human being, and she's
Mhm.
such a force of nature.
Yeah.
And it's just always really interesting to see people doing something that which they are passionate about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anybody that's talented and or passionate at what they do,
Mhm.
it makes it fascinating to watch, and you can't help but root for them. So I'm hoping that people go out and buy the shit out of that.
Mhm.
So that third poll, favorite barbecue food. Jenny's like, where the hell did that come from? Speaking of
Speaking of
barbecue
which.
food,
Mhm.
7% said bacon, 15% said shrimp, 34% said ribs, and 42% said steak. Wow,
Yeah.
steak beat ribs.
Ribs are
Wow.
messy.
Shrimp is bite-sized. It's ready to go.
Yeah, you just pop that. But have you ever had shrimp that's like hasn't been prepared? Like it's just got all the, you have to like deturd it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Adam, my son, always complains, like, why do they always leave the tails on and then put it in some sauce? So it's all like,
I know,
totally
right?
like, why? My son always complains, and he's right. I mean, I don't understand. I think it's supposed to make it flavor better, I guess. Because
Yeah.
otherwise it's just
Time.
mean.
Saving them time.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll leave the hoof on the cow if we could.
Yeah.
But for this last grouping, I actually have 5,
Oh,
but
I'm so hungry.
YouTube will only let us do 4. So
Okay.
which one needs to get cut out? I don't think it should be fish, because barbecue and things like tilapia or salmon is really good.
Salmon. Ooh.
Also calamari/octopus, I feel like needs to be there.
On the grill?
Kebabs have got
Who
to
else
be
that?
there. Well, Muhammad's questioning calamari and octopus.
Just on the grill. I mean, I love
Yeah.
it in general, but on the grill, that seems a little bit.
Yeah, you can have like calamari steaks. Those are good.
Okay, I didn't know that. I've never seen that.
Ooh, maybe we'll kick that one off. But then there's also lamb. I was just thinking of lamb because lamb's really good in shawarma, but that's not really
Like a
barbecue.
barbecue.
4th of July barbecue.
Yeah, and the other one is pork chops. I think that's pretty American. But, so everybody in the live chat, let us know which one should get dropped off that final grouping. Calamari/octopus, or lamb, or pork chops. Running out of ideas.
Mm.
So we'll didn't mean to kill the discussion there. What do you think, Anne Marie? Or Jenny?
I don't know. I say
calamari. I mean, half this list. I'm wondering what barbecues you go to.
bring back corn.
Bring back corn.
Bring back
Dude, honestly,
corn.
it's not a bad choice. Corn on the cob. It's a pretty common one.
Well, it didn't do very
It's so
well.
good.
Yeah, yeah,
It only got
Listen.
6% vote.
yeah.
Oh, people.
This is what it was up against. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
good.
Exactly.
I'm not taking fish away though. I'm
drawing
tilapia
the
is
line.
very good. Yeah, tilapia is great. So let's see. It looks like Chris Marshall says calamari needs to go. Anne Marie says also Texas toast.
I do not have Texas toast at your barbecues. It's so yummy.
Steve
What's
Casey.
It's
Texas-
just bread with butter and garlic. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like
yeah.
garlic bread?
And it's
Oh,
and
just
it's
like the
thicker.
thick stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get rid of 2 of them and add Texas toast in there. Glenn Iverson says get rid of the calamari octopus as well.
Steve Case too.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys are messed up. Octopi are smart. They deserve to be
I
barbecued.
love the surf part of surf and turf, but I don't usually have that part barbecued.
And what do you guys think to put on Texas toast? What's the other one we should get rid of?
The lamb.
Yeah.
Lamb requires a delicate touch, I think, to
Yes.
cook properly. And this, speaking as someone who knows nothing about this.
All right. So the final 4 in this group will be fish. That's any kind of fish, not not scallops or what are those, crustaceans, I guess.
Mhm.
Mollusks. No, nothing like that.
Really?
Kebabs, Texas toast, and pork choppers. Is that like pork jaw? I don't know.
Oh.
So
Sounds
we'll let
good.
that one go. All right.
Kebabs
Were
are
there
so
any
good, though.
more? Oh gosh. Yeah, there's
Salmon
more.
steaks, man. That's where it's at. Salmon steaks.
So a bit more here. The next Star Trek Picard novel will focus on 7 of Nine's journey from Voyager crewmate to
Oh, right.
Fenris Ranger outlaw. As author David Mack. Hey, welcome back.
Oh,
David.
yay.
Yeah.
We always enjoyed him
Pens.
on Seventh Rule.
Yep.
He's
Pens
great.
Star Trek Picard Firewall for release next year. That's awesome. Good for him. Great author. Here's the official synopsis.
Good
2
stuff
years
back.
after the USS Voyager, that's interesting.
Hmm.
2 years after the USS Voyager's return from the Delta Quadrant, 7 of 9 finds herself rejected for a position in Starfleet and instead finds a new home with the Interstellar Rogue Law Enforcement Corps known as the Fenris Rangers. The Rangers seem like an ideal fit for 7, but to embrace this new destiny, she must leave behind all she's ever known and risk losing the most important thing in her life, her friendship with
Oh.
Admiral Catherine Janeway. Were they really that good of pals at the end?
I thought they were really like it was a hardcore mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
the show they were.
They're really close.
Yeah.
They played
And,
whatever that game is together, Velocity or something.
Mhm. I mean, the whole reason that Janeway goes back to save Voyager in Endgame is because of 7.
True.
Mhm.
So this
Oh, look,
last one
bears.
is the one that Anne Marie loves the most.
Oh my
It's-
gosh. Here's the thing, the Star Wars bears and all the other bears that just got released like actually look like characters from
Right?
their shows. And these are some like weird dorky patterns with weapons.
They're cute.
But I guess I love that they're doing something in Star Trek.
It's the Varuban
Yes.
Nebula bear.
Right?
Yeah, so it says, finally, Build-A-Bear Workshop has unveiled a new bear themed for the Star Trek universe. The red, gold, and blue Nebula Bear, the naked bear, is available for purchase alone, or enthusiasts can pair the stuffed animal with either original series or next generation command uniforms, complete, of course, with period-appropriate plush phaser.
The TOS one with
Type
TOS
1 or
uniform,
type
the
2?
TNG one with TNG uniform.
Yeah, and it looks like a tribble. or something.
Does look like it.
Mhm.
But they do all look the same.
Yeah, the nebula is similar.
I
Maybe
love
it
where
is
they're
supposed to be-
going with this.
I'm glad they're doing something.
Me too. Have Star Trek
Mhm.
everything now.
Something.
But also like make ours look less dorky.
Mhm. Yeah, how come they
The
get a
one-
two-piece and
The
we get a
one for
one-piece?
Star Wars, they have like really cool, they're cool and they look like Yoda and stuff. They're in Mandalorian, they look amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stuff
there's
is
probably.
amazing.
Is it supposed to be the Verubin Nebula specifically, the one from season 3 of Discovery, or just any nebula?
Yeah, I can't tell nebulas apart.
Okay, yeah,
I have
can't
to say. I haven't gotten to that level.
Hmm.
Did Anne
Reuben
Marie
one was
just say
interesting.
nebulas?
Nebulae.
Nice tidbit about the Verubin Nebula. It was named after astronomer Vera Rubin. They just merged the name
Wow,
into that
that's
real
cool.
world astronomer. Yeah, so that's why it's
Yeah,
the
that's
Verubin
amazing.
Nebula. Yeah, little insider
it-
tip.
When are
Discovery
they
season
making
3.
the newer nebula?
No, yeah, I don't think so. I'm not an astronomer anyway. They wouldn't even know me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe if they find a new fruit fly in Star Trek.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to make a joke, but it's
Dr-
too much,
Drosophila
too much setup,
muscular.
not worth it. Let's say hello to DJ Kitty Cat in the live chat who says, sorry, I'm so late. That's cool. Hey, whatever. Robert Kaiser, hey, what's up? We see all of y'all. What's up, Mai, live in Tokyo. Mai is going to be first in line to get those Build-A-Bears. That's for damn sure. What's up, Allison Leach Hyde in the live chat as well. So it looks like we'll be closing out this favorite food to barbecue first round. We'll get the 4 finalists and pit them together
Oh my
in just
gosh, this is
I
gonna
know.
get written up for sure.
sweating. This is gonna get all the news outlets are gonna. This isn't just gonna be like Trek Movie and Trek Core. This is gonna be like Time Magazine,
IGN.
Rolling Stone. Yeah,
Oh.
New York Times is banging on the door right
Yeah.
now.
We didn't use all the Star Trek foods, like the little cubes from the original series.
Oh
the
my
little
God,
spongy
yeah.
cubes.
Mhm.
Grill those.
Tara says,
Catfish.
I've been cooking in the backyard, but OMG, I need that bear. She gets it. Dave Gregory says, duh, bears. That's you see, Anne Marie, that was an
I
old
know,
Saturday
I
Night
got
Live.
it. I'm from Wisconsin.
I'm from Wisconsin. She says, oh, you guys probably
Close to
hated
Chicago.
that skit,
Yes.
huh?
Well, no, but you hear a lot. I mean, I'm neutral, but
Mhm.
yes.
So it's after 9 here on the East Coast because there's all sorts of flashes and sounds coming from outside now.
Oh, right.
Okay, so up next, we've got a preview of the next episode of Strange New Worlds. It's entitled Among the Lotus Eaters, which is kind of fits maybe Star Trek Las Vegas, which is coming up because
Is that like a Shakespeare reference?
we don't have
or something?
Lotus, but we'll have locusts coming, I
The
believe, this
Lotus
year, right?
Eaters is
Barbecue?
Tennyson? Alfred Lord Tennyson, I think.
Okay, I was like, there's definitely some sort of
Mhm.
Don't know
literature
what that
classics.
reference, but I don't know. Yeah.
I knew,
Well-
and it's funny until you said that. I knew it was like in my brain, but I hadn't
Ah.
put a name. Thank you. So now I gotta go find that poem.
Oh, it's a poem? The
I
Lotus
think so.
Eaters.
I think so.
Oh, good. This is
Okay.
good preparation before you have the guest on to record.
Mhm. All right. So up next, sorry, I'm just obsessed with this barbecue poll. I know I shouldn't be, but
Barbecue so bad.
it's just so interesting knowing what people like in just like things that aren't that important.
Aspirat.
Aspirate, yeah. Mohammed, would you like to jump
Sure.
on this next one for us? This is about Among the Lotus Eaters.
Sure thing. The 4th episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2 arrives this week. We have details along with new images and 2 clips. Spoilers to follow. Among the Lotus Eaters. Episode 4 of Strange New Worlds' 2nd season is called Among the Lotus Eaters, a reference to Homer's Odyssey. The episode will feature Pike returning to Rigel 7 from the cage, the first Star Trek pilot. Among the Lotus Eaters was written by Kirsten Beyer and Davy Perez and directed by Eduardo Sanchez. It debuts on Paramount Plus on Thursday, July 6th.
Part of the show, Davy Perez. We love him.
The synopsis is returning to a planet that dredges up tragic memories. Captain Pike and his landing party find themselves forgetting everything, including their own identities, as he confronts a ghost from his past.
Okay, what does that mean? What are they referencing? What episode? What's going
So
on?
in The Cage, you might remember the very beginning of The Cage, Pike was talking to his doctor. He was all depressed and he had lost some crew, and something had happened on Rigel 7. And I don't know that they elaborated that much. Maybe they'd said how many people died. I don't remember that much, but I'm assuming it's referring to that. And I was coming back to this thing, which was very traumatic for him. And he was almost at the point of saying, like, maybe I shouldn't do
he
this,
almost
maybe I should
quit.
Yeah.
And then his doctor made him a martini and it was okay. So weird. In his quarters.
Yeah, the comment
in
was
his
like,
medical bag.
the comment was sometimes people will tell their bartenders things they wouldn't tell their doctor. And he just started mixing up his martini.
Okay, good. I was trying to remember like which part of The Cage was Rigel 7. Okay, so it's the first part that required a stiff drink.
That's at least my recollection. I could be wrong. That's my
I think
you're definitely
very
right.
sure you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Davy Perez is fantastic. I'm excited to see him come on.
We love that guy.
He's great.
Well, on the subject of Davy Perez, everybody, you know, when this new episode drops on Thursday, on the 7th Rule, Sirach Lofton and I, of course, will be reviewing that new episode. And our special guest will be writer Davy frickin' Perez.
Nice.
Great guy.
That's his real middle name. So he's been great. He's an amazing guy. We love having him. Can't wait. Everybody check that out. That is going to be on Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. Island time if you're on Nova Scotia. Do you guys call it Island time? What do you call it?
No, because Nova Scotia isn't an island.
Peninsula.
Atlantic time.
It's Atlantic. Yeah, it's Atlantic time. Because it's the whole Atlantic region, except for Newfoundland, which is a half an hour.
That's the island, right?
It's Newfoundland.
Newfoundland is a half an hour off everyone else. And Newfoundland is half an island and half not an island.
Yeah, I heard Greenland is like 15 minutes off, right? Or like 11, something like that.
Is it really? Are you kidding?
No,
I was like, what? I've never been to Greenland, so I don't know.
No, there are very few time zones that do that half. I guess Newfoundland is one, and that's an island. I'm sure it's got to be right. Also, Australia. Some parts of Australia also have like half-hour things.
I thought it was India, but I could be mistaken.
India, maybe too. I don't know about that one.
Oh, that's cool.
I could be wrong though.
You were just asking for a geography question earlier today. Right.
Yeah, I do like geography.
Bidley's pointing out that Prince Edward Island is the island.
Yes. Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Technically. Part
Prince
of
Edward Island is where Anne of Green Gables was too, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what
exactly. And Nova Scotia has an island, Cape Breton, which is where I'm from originally.
Oh.
It's like, yeah.
Oh, no, this was the one I was thinking of. So sorry, everybody. Here's our geography pause. I was picturing this guy, Saint Pierre and Miquelon.
Yes.
And yeah, Nova Scotia looks like an island from far away, but it's actually a peninsula because it is connected.
Oh,
New Brunswick.
But this is Prince Edward Island.
Yeah. Cool. And the big one that you said there, it is Newfoundland. Saint Pierre and Miquelon are just two little tiny islands off of that big island.
Okay.
Yeah, Newfoundland, and then Labrador is like part of Newfoundland, but it's the big chunk up the top there.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Newfoundland and Labrador is one province.
Which part is Newfoundland and which part's Labrador?
Newfoundland is the island part. Labrador is the not.
Oh, this island. Okay, yes.
That's
so
Newfoundland.
Is the island that I was thinking of. Okay, cool, great. Yeah, that's the guy.
I'm
Canadian geography.
I did not know that.
I'm like obsessed with Still Standing, like the show where like Johnny Harris goes to every like small town in Canada, and you learn about it. Oh, it's so good.
Gander is look like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock on land, but not like. Oh wait, sorry, in Newfoundland. Yeah.
Oh, in Newfoundland. Okay.
Gander. You're
There it
almost
is.
there.
Ah, sure enough, there it is.
You'll
Gander
notice
Lake.
there isn't a lot in Newfoundland.
I remember getting stuck in Gander once on a transoceanic flight that hit way too much wind and they had to stop and refuel in Gander.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's where all the
nice.
planes went. That's
Yeah.
where all the planes
Come
went
from away.
on 9/11. Exactly.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah,
There's a musical about it.
it's so
It
good
just closed
too.
on Broadway. Oh,
Mhm.
so good.
Boy, our viewership is plummeting right now, but this
I mean,
is
it's
fun as hell for me
Escalating.
because I feel vindicated that Newfoundland is an island.
Mhm.
So going back to these pictures for
Just a
week's
second,
episode.
and then we'll go back to
Okay,
Canadian
okay.
geography.
But this is
So,
rumored to be
this
the
is-
episode with that Melissa Navia said she's in a little bit more finally.
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
let's
good.
look at this picture because that's exactly what confused me. If you'll notice, here's
Those
a picture
deviled
right
eggs.
here of Laan
Mhm.
and Mbenga and what's
Oh
what
my god, how
happened?
cute is Ortega's with that hat?
What's that? Why are they- everybody's like legs.
Let me fix that. What happened? There we go. But that was very confusing when I saw this part.
Mhm.
What's going on here? She's
Hmm.
got some kind of wig on there.
It's a
And
hat.
Laan has different hair.
Oh, it is a hat. Yes.
Is it no, because look right there.
It's a hat. I know her hair's looking through.
Maybe they're trying to blend in on some planet.
Mhm.
Yes.
She wants to look like a Vulcan.
I think it's just-
You see Pike's hair is like flopped too.
Oh,
You know there's trouble
Oh,
when
yeah.
Pike's hair is not doing its
Yes.
thing.
So there's something, but they're all dressed the same, you see. So they're definitely going to infiltrate and try to blend in and, that kind of story.
Oh, Ortega's is so cute.
And then this is going to be the bad guy of the episode, probably, or the guy that thinks
Or
he's
is
a good
he
guy.
a good
but
guy?
he looks like
luck.
Every time there's like an old looking guy like that on Voyager, they're always like a nice elderly gentleman who's gonna help. We'll see if they carry that up.
God,
Like
those
in
corridors
Resistance.
look amazing. Look at that.
They do, don't they?
Beautiful corridor. You could definitely slip on those, though. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. You can slip on this.
oh yeah.
But they got some slip resistance.
That's why they
shoes.
have those
Not in those flu-
$450 boots.
Those blue bugs, yeah.
Yeah, see, this is
Mhm.
Yeah, it's more normal.
Spock is taking the helm or something.
Go
At least the
Spock.
con.
I love it. You can peck a Spock.
Look how
Look how
beautiful.
great these sets are.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't
The
wait to watch
one
this episode.
episode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Pike's hair is different here, too.
Looks amazing.
Maybe this is like before it flops.
Yeah.
Before it flops, I love that.
Not to be confused with Before It Sleeps by Metallica.
Nice.
Everybody
Ah.
knows. Okay. So
It's
that's
Mhm.
definitely going to reference some original series stuff, and that's going to be really cool and exciting. Okay, this is something, boy, we could almost started with this. Strange New World Season 2's mysterious episode 9 already is teased by Star Trek's Christina Chong. This
Mhm.
is written by our
Oh,
good
this
buddy John
article.
Orchiola of Screen Rant. Anne-Marie, you found this. This is from our good buddy John Orchiola of Screen Rant.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
right
do you
now,
want-
all I know going into it. Okay, we'll just start. We'll do the article first. Okay, so
okay.
who wants to read?
Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2's mysterious episode 9 is starting to get some buzz. And the episode's inception is thanks to star Christina Chong. As Lieutenant Lon Noonien Singh, Chong and Paul Wesley's Captain James T. Kirk, you stay away from her, anchored the romantic and tragic Strange New Worlds time travel episode Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Strange New World Season 2 is already hitting multiple highs since episode 3 follows up the stellar legal drama of episodes 2's Ad Astra per Aspera.
So going into
everybody
this
loved.
article, I I think at the press junket that happened that was virtual, especially Rebecca Romaine and Anson Mount were giving little like hints that episode 9 something really fun happens, and like people were getting tired from like all of the just being on set with all the COVID requirements and everything, and then episode 9 came and revitalized them because it's so different, which led everybody to surmise that it could be a musical episode. So that's why.
Why did they think that?
Everybody, anytime anybody says anything's different, everybody starts going, it's a musical episode. Like this happens like every couple of weeks, basically, for the past year, like 10 years.
They talked about extra rehearsals.
Yes. Different genres.
Yeah. And do we know the name of the episode? Or was that
Yes.
That was just a rumor.
Do we?
Yeah, it says in this article, it says it's entitled Subspace Rhapsody. Okay,
Right.
you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be a musical. You're right.
However, there's like Stardust City Rag. Like it's
True.
been done before.
True.
Okay.
How do you feel about it?
I don't know.
Anne Marie's gonna love it.
I actually don't know.
She
Sometimes
loves
musical episodes
musicals.
can be so bad, but I do have faith in these guys.
Yeah.
What kind of faith?
Not
Faith
of the
Howell?
heart.
Oh,
Faith Howell,
Yeah,
very good.
Faith Howell. Yes.
Yeah.
we love Faith Howell.
What about you, Muhammad? Are you excited about the possibility of a musical episode?
I wouldn't say I'm more excited than any other kind of episode, but I am excited. I mean, I just more Star Trek content. I'm always there. I'm down for it. Whatever it is, it'll be good.
And
so
Sally
far,
is amazing.
so far
It's
they haven't
amazing.
disappointed us in anything they've done.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see whatever they bring us.
Like I feel like if it was if it was a Picard episode, I might be concerned about it. But because of what they're doing with Strange New Worlds and they're like, the one-offiness of it, I feel like it could work.
Also, oh my God, just like the music in the background, like the orchestrations this season, every episode are taking my breath away.
Yeah.
Now that I'm going back and watching TOS, like some of the music cues that are just so subtle in TOS get like picked up and brought in here. It's just, it's gorgeous. And I listen with like the volume way up so you can hear like every little thing.
That's awesome.
It's just
Take My
amazing.
Breath Away, everybody knows, by Berlin, featured
Nice.
on Top Gun, I believe it was.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Muhammad?
I was going to say, Jenny, your comment about if it was in Picard. I'm imagining in the middle of season 3 Picard musical episode. That would have been truly bizarre.
With Commander Rowe showing up and they're like, why aren't you singing? And she's like, fuck that, man. I'm out
That
of
would have
here.
been very odd.
Also, there's some good musical episodes of things. I love the Gilligan's Island Hamlet musical episode. Like, you never know.
That is a deep dive.
And I love like when Star Trek has just like jazz standards in episodes.
That's a fun question. Who is the best singer
Celia
from every
Rose
Star Trek series?
Probably.
Because it might be Christina Chong. It seems like it
Celia
could.
was on Broadway. She's amazing.
Whoa,
Right.
that's tough to beat then.
Yeah.
Like Jagged Little Pill. She's
That's a
so
high
good.
Oh, right.
And her
I
mom's
mean-
LaShawn's like freaking
Oh,
Broadway
God, right.
royalty.
That's
That
awesome.
sounds pretty
That's a
high.
high bar.
What about on like Deep Space Nine? Renee Auberjonois was a good singer.
Yes, she won Tonys.
Avery Brooks was a good singer.
Mhm.
Who had
Nana.
great
And
control of
Nana
his
was
voice.
on Broadway too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nana's
But yeah, it's probably
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Le Poisson, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Love him.
And I was
It's
thinking
not
rendition of
Armin.
Fever was like phenomenal.
Mhm.
Actually, our show friend Bonnie Gordon just posted a video of her singing Fever just this past week too. It was also really good too.
She
So
might be
kudos.
the one for Prodigy. Good point there. What
Bobby
about
Diggs, probably from Hamilton. So
Next Generation?
Brent.
And we know Brent, well, and Riker.
Oh, yeah, Brent
they're
won
both pretty
Tonys.
musical.
I could see Gates doing it, but I'm not sure. I know she
Mhm.
danced a lot. I don't know about singing.
Brent
I
was
bet
in the
you
original
Marina
cast of
is not a good
1776
singer. I bet you
Was he?
she's
or a revival. I can't remember which. It's like
Oh,
up for
cool.
Tonys or won them.
What? I did not know that.
Also, like Voyager. Oh my gosh, there are like clips of Roseanne Dawson
Roxanne?
singing it, Roxanne Dawson
Really?
singing at Geraldo, like she was in
Well,
chorus
mine
live.
disagrees with you. She says
Cool.
Picardo, of course. We remember his
Oh,
Vulcan
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
song.
Mhm.
That was so good. And also DJ Kitty Cat says Shatner can't
Oh,
sing,
obviously.
but I think she meant just Shatner.
And the
Period.
show.
Michelle, yeah.
Mhm.
It's definitely not Walter. Anyway, that's because the reason I thought of that was because DJ Kitty Cat mentioned Alison Pill singing in Picard in that
Yeah.
episode of Picard. So good knowledge there, DJ Kitty
Good
Cat.
knowledge.
That's what set us off there.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Patrick Stewart's wife.
Yes.
So here's the quote from the Screen Rant article. Right now, John Orchiola of Screen Rant's like, can you please just get to the part that's important? It says, is Christina Chong saying, I did ask for this thing. From season 1, any writer who would listen, I was like, hey, what about this? And then this could happen, and this could happen, but I do tend to pitch ideas to them all the time about things. I'm always trying to think of what we could do. This episode, which is episode 9, is basically one of the things that I've always wanted to do career-wise. And they said, oh, we're actually already thinking about that. So I just pushed it even harder. I basically kept forcing it. And then Akiva told me one day that they were doing it. And I almost broke into tears. I was that happy.
Which does sound like the musical one, because she famously was training for West End and then had an injury, so couldn't dance as much anymore. And then started doing straight acting. Although she just released a solo.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
the
right.
kind of surprise thing about it is that I guess if anybody was going to have a musical episode, I really thought it would have been Discovery. So I'm kind of shocked to see it going in this direction, but whatever, it'll be fun.
What about Lower Decks? They could definitely do a musical episode.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Discovery always does like releases music
Yeah.
videos of them like
They can
actually.
all
Yeah.
sing.
Anthony Rapp was in Rent, and he's like
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
them come like be on stage with him to sing, and they're all
Absolutely.
amazing.
Mhm.
Then John Orchiola of Screen Rant asks, could Strange New Worlds episode 9 be even bigger than the Star Trek Lower Decks crossover? I don't know about all that. What do you guys think?
Excited for whatever they're going to give us.
Yeah. I mean,
Depends how catchy the songs are.
yeah, exactly. Is it
Whoa,
like-
that's true.
Is it like Buffy musical episode level? Maybe?
Yeah, if it's
What
like
if they-
opera.
what if they have like really good catchy songs that we're singing along, like Let It
I
Go
mean,
and
I'm
stuff?
still
you know?
singing like a Meloda.
The
Klingon opera. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Come to Quarks, don't walk, run, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Quarks is fun.
Okay, so everybody go check out the rest of that article on screenrant.com. Great stuff. We got a couple minutes left. So let's, Anne-Marie, your thoughts. We've got Pelia's Vermeer.
That's just a
We've
cute
got-
little tie-in. That's not like totally news.
Yeah, let's do we've
But I do
also got
love the
another
tie into an art heist.
Screen Rant, and we've got let's do Prodigy here. This is important.
Also, I wrote on an email like what the poll's at right now. I can't remember it. They say like 20.
The poll?
Yeah, I put in the email like what
Save
the
Star Trek
latest number
Prodigy.
is.
Oh, that's not a poll. That's a
I mean petition.
petition thing. But real quick, everybody check out the other Screen Rant article. Amazing Star Trek cosplay brings Prodigy's
Oh,
coolest
yeah.
alien to live action.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So everybody
Yeah.
check that out because you want to see.
That
Wow,
is amazing.
So
Yeah.
cool.
look at
That's
that.
awesome.
Mhm.
It's like she stepped out of the show.
Yeah.
Very
How
well
stylish is
done.
Italy? Yeah,
Right?
amazing.
Okay, so it's a tweet from Alessandro Taini, and it's got a Gwen cosplay, a lady that's it's either Cesar Marino or Miss Hatred Jess, Blast FX, whatever. Check that out. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so check that out. And then lastly,
one other quick hit too. Okay, so first of all, the petition is closing in on 27,000, which is amazing.
Which petition is that?
For saving Prodigy. But I just have to give a fun Twitter, like my Twitter tweet of the week that I think really deserves to win is George Takei. So like Twitter unveiled that you can only read like a certain amount of tweets a day. So like if you have a new account, it's 300. If you're like a normie, it's 600, whatever. So he goes, rate limit exceeded. Have they tried diverting all power to the forward array?
Oh my gosh.
Take off life support.
So
Narrow the
cute.
angular confinement beam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you
It has,
tried
like, 3/4
unplugging
of
it?
a million views. It's so funny.
Okay. So this is important here. The change.org for the Captain Pike series that everybody wanted so badly reached 30,000 signatures. Didn't we have another one just recently that got like,
the
Legacy.
one.
Legacy. Yeah.
Let's check that one. I feel like that one was around 50 something,
It
right?
was over 50, I remember. Yeah. I don't remember the exact number. It was over 50.
That one was 60,000. So that doubled Pike. Right now, the Prodigy one, let's check that one out. Remember,
Which the other
60
thing
is
that
the
really
high
blew my
water
mind
mark.
with the Prodigy one is like the second it started, people can donate money to like help it get seen more. And I was scrolling through people who gave. So many people have given like the minimum $5. Some people have given $100 to this.
Amazing.
People are so dedicated to Prodigy. I love it.
So check this out. Save Prodigy on change.org.
Wow.
It's already at almost 27,000 signatures. That means in 3,000 or 4,000 more signatures, it will pass the Captain Pike petition on change.org. And it is almost halfway to passing Legacy. Can we pass Star Trek Legacy? Doesn't necessarily everybody at home, that doesn't mean that they're in competition with each other. To me, what this would mean is Prodigy kind of seemed like the unexpected show, kind of the smaller show that didn't get as much love. And if we can get Prodigy to surpass Sir Patrick and the big boys and the thing that everybody knows that everybody wants, it would be a major statement. So I think that we should try to do that.
Yeah.
Plus,
We should be clear about
that.
the-
Include the kids who probably are signing petitions.
Absolutely. I think it's amazing how, sorry.
No, please.
I think it's amazing how fast this has happened too. Cause I mean, Legacy's made it to 60, but that's since.
That's what I was going to say.
Right. Yeah. But this is what, 2 weeks? Not even.
Exactly. It's not like there's half as much love for one as the other. It's like, no, this one started way later. It's like starting a race 2 months after the other one did. Like,
It doesn't have like the TNG Legacy people retweeting it. And, like, it's pretty amazing.
And it's still done really well in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
We're just going to do a super quick finish up on Prodigy here. And this is from trekmovie.com that you might have heard the news from a few days ago. Prodigy, it says just 1 week after Paramount Plus announced they were removing a number of shows, including Prodigy, as part of a cost-reducing purge ahead of integration of Showtime, the animated Star Trek show is being honored by the Television Critics Association. The 39th annual TCA Awards were announced today, and Star Trek Prodigy was nominated for Outstanding Achievement in Family Programming, a new category, just in time, for 2023, which recognizes shows created for youths from 7 years old and up. Prodigy is going up against American-Born Chinese, High School Musical, the musical, the series, what the heck? Jane.
How many colons are there?
Jane, Love, Victor, Marvel's Moon Girl, and Devil Dinosaur. Miss Maisel, Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Miss Marvel, Never Have I Ever, and the Mysterious Benedict Society. Never have I ever been more confused by a bunch of titles in my life.
I hope it doesn't lose its eligibility because it got pulled. That would be terrible if that happened.
Ugh. Never have I ever been more disgusted if they do. All right.
Nothing is more family than Star Trek. So
yes, true.
Ain't that the truth?
Well said.
Mohammed, you have a very special
Kindly.
question for us, right?
Sure. This is an easy one. I think a lot of people are going to get it. I bet Glenn Iverson's probably already typing the answer before I've even asked it.
Oh, is it TOS themed?
It is TOS themed.
Yeah, you're probably right,
specifically July 4th TOS theme. So in the original series episode, The Omega Glory, we hear Kirk recite part of the United States Pledge of Allegiance, where he goes into the republic for which it stands, blah, 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 blah. What other text does Kirk quote later in the episode? So let me say it again. In the original series, The Omega Glory, we hear Kirk recite part of the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance. What other text does Kirk quote later in the episode?
Huh. All right, everybody.
It's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
If you've seen the
start
episode,
typing
it's
away.
just like, oh yeah.
We watched it
Bring
for our
out-
science talk.
Bring out your number 2 pencils for this one and go ahead and fill in the blanks. And then one will be in essay form. I don't remember. Scantron was a thing, wasn't it?
Scantron.
Ugh, it gives me nightmares. So let's talk about the week very quickly, everybody. Yesterday, the 7th Rule released our full review. That's myself and Sirach Lofton. Our full review of the Next Generation first season episode, We'll Always Have Paris, with the writer of the episode, Deborah Dean Davis. It was very important that we get her because this is her only Star Trek credit.
Right.
So this was basically our only shot. We got to get her. And she said yes. And we giggled the entire way. She's tons of fun. She's amazing. She's brilliant. Check that out. That is on the 7th Rule YouTube channel. The full episode is now available. Now on Wednesday, that is tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's 10:30 p.m. weird, Canadian island time, or I don't know. Is it a half hour before or a half hour after you?
Half hour after me. So like anytime anything gets announced on CBC, it's like 10 o'clock at 9 Central, 10 blah, and 10:30 in Newfoundland.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
So tomorrow on the Falling Tower YouTube channel, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, etc. Falling Tower is now moving into comedy month. July is comedy month, and we are starting this coming Wednesday at 6, 9 Eastern is going to be The Simpsons. And our
Nice.
special guest, Dr. Muhammad and Noor and I have decided our special guest is Melissa Longo. That's why she's not here right now. She's studying for the big exam.
The best part of that episode is that they get the dog in the first episode.
Hey, whoa, spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Santa's little helper.
Yeah. It's like July. Okay, sorry. Talk to the hand.
Oh, look, you made me raise my hand. I didn't even
I was
mean to.
wondering why
How
that
do I-
came up. Like, oh,
I was like, uh-oh.
Even if I just go
Trouble.
like this, in 5 seconds, it turns me into a hand raise. See?
It's
weird. Anyway, then on Thursday, that is July the 6th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time, go to the 7th Rule YouTube channel for our review of Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 4, the one that just drops right that day. Sirach Lofton, myself, and our good buddy, Davey Perez. You're going to love it. I'm
Perez.
sure you're going to love the episode. You're going to love hearing what David Perez has to say about it and who co-wrote the episode. Then on Friday, come right back here to the Virtual Trek Con YouTube channel. That is going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Nova Scotia time. Why are we mentioning that? Well, because Jenny R. Johnson's going to be there as well. So she needs to know what time it is. That is going to be Star Trek and chill. Everybody come enjoy Star Trek and just chill with us. Grab a beverage, grab your pet, put the kids to bed, whatever you do, put your feet on the lawn. I don't know. It's got to feel nice.
I like that.
Then-
Put your feet on the lawn.
Then on Sunday, this is the last and best one, everybody. On Sunday, what is that? At 9 a.m. Pacific time, that is noon p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be releasing our first segment review of The Next Generation, Season 2, Episode 2, Where Silence Has Lease. That's going to be a fun one. Check that out. And it's going to be followed directly by a Deep Space Nine deep dive clip. So check that out of, what was it? Babel, I believe. Busy. Anyway, that's this week, and we hope it's going to be a fun one for all of y'all. Muhammad, what's the answer to the
A
trivia
lot of
question?
people wrote Declaration of Independence that is incorrect. And one person wrote La Marseillaise. That would have been very cool. That was
That's
also
fun.
incorrect.
Yeah.
But
I said,
Glenn
no, I always have
Iverson,
Paris.
as we called it, and he actually said he was started typing before he even finished the question, had it correctly, which is the preamble to the U.S. Constitution. And it starts with, we the
Nice.
people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, blah, 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 blah. That's not from the Declaration of Independence. Though people often get that mistaken, so don't feel bad if you wrote that. But it's actually from the preamble of the U.S. Constitution. So there's your little civics lesson too.
Interesting.
Very appropriate for today.
There you go.
That's the episode with like a massive spear budget.
That is the
Spear
episode.
budget.
When I was a little kid, I used to have that episode on a Viewmaster, so we could like go
Oh,
through.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's great.
Everybody, so we've had so much fun with all of y'all. On our way out, please make sure that you like and subscribe this channel, like this video, subscribe to this channel, give us a 5-star rating if you're listening in. When this video is over, please hit the refresh button and leave a comment below. That helps us to be found in the YouTube algorithm. Everybody's always talking about the algorithm. Nobody understands it, but we know that this helps. So please do your part and help us out. It's free, and it helps us to continue to do this for all of us and have a ton of fun. And also, please be sure that you support these things you are about to hear. And those are as follows. Jenny R. Johnson, where can people find you online?
You can find me, as we mentioned earlier, on my website, jennyrjohnson.com. That's like my portfolio, my shop, everything's there. And on social media, you can find me on Twitter, while it still exists, at Jenny R. Johnson, and Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Instagram at Jenny R. Johnson Art.
Nice. What about you, Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel?
I'm on Twitter at Anne-Marie Siegel1.
Oh. When you join all those others, are you going to be able to take off the one finally with
I
those
don't
others?
know. I don't know. We'll see.
Because there's Blue Sky. I saw one recently that was like Spill or something like that.
Yeah, that's a new
There's
one.
another
People are
new one
starting to jump
called
to.
Thread, which I think Thread is a really good name for one. There was one that was called Tribal. I'm like, bro, you're saying the quiet part out loud if you're saying tribal. Like, can we not
Yeah.
like it just I don't know, not the best name in my opinion. Thread's a good one. Don't know anything about it. Now closing out the second half of our doctor's portion. Muhammad, can people find you?
At Mafnoor, M-A-F like Frank, N like November, O-O-R on any socials, on Blue Sky, Mastodon, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it, all there. Or on YouTube is Biotrekkie, B-I-O-T-R-E-K-K-I-E. One quick thing too, a lot of people were commenting in the chat about the trivia thing. They learned the preamble from Schoolhouse Rock, which, yes, I remember in middle school, we all sang it every time. We were like, we the people, in order to form a more perfect, yeah, everyone.
Amazing.
I heard a rumor there might be a new Biotrekkie Explains coming out.
There might be in just over a week, not this week, but maybe in just over a week there might be a new.
Okay, good. I have my alerts
Exciting.
on.
That's what we should do. Is every time we have rumors, we should have like a drop that goes, I heard a rumor. Who is that? What is that? Like, that's Paul Abdul, isn't it?
I
Wants to take your place.
Jody Watley.
Somebody.
See the Umbrella Academy
Say
girl
you got
who
a
could do
broken
that. I heard a
heart.
rumor.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of another. Wants to take your place. I don't know. I'm getting them confused.
Telephone hour?
We ended this thing too late. Thank you,
Past our bedtimes.
Dr. Noor, and everybody. You can find me and tell me Bananarama, TJ Kitty
Where can
Cat
we find
says.
you?
Karaoke. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be horrible. You can find me on Twitter at RyanTGHusk. That's at RyanTGHusk, or just virtual TrekCon, Falling Tower, or the Seventh Rule on your favorite social media, provided I'm on it, and especially YouTube. Just go to YouTube. and subscribe to everything, and let's have some fun. Everybody stay safe, have fun, be super nice to each other. Even that guy, yeah, even that guy, fuck it. Even him, no, not him, but most other people. All right, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us. And when you want to get that Prodigy petition up and over 60 freaking thousand, put that shit on the main viewer. I mean, stuff.